happy day. I want to invite our singers to come up para el 5 de mayo que festejan. Gracias. Más en 24, mucho más en 24. Thank you guys so much. I just want to say welcome to the Global Truth Center, to all of you, to those of you online. My name is Reverend Dr. Liza Marquez. I am here today. Thank you. Dr. James is Palm Springs, and they're doing an event today, isn't that right? They're doing a wonderful event, so we're wishing them all the best. Actually, we're not wishing them anything. We know that they're going to have a blast today. So in his stead, I am here, and I am so happy that you guys are all here. And let's welcome everyone with a big, beautiful song.
Woo-hoo. So y'all know this. Please join us. I invite you.
I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Oh, I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
Well, I'm loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. Well, we're all different, no one less or more, 'cause we've all got the same treasures in store. I am loving every living thing. Oh, yeah. Come on! I
Can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
I'm believing in my guiding light. Whatever happens, it always turns out right. I just dig right down to how I feel. Take a deep breath and I grab that wheel. I'm believing in my guiding light. Hey!
I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
Dr. Patty on the I'm rising to my highest place with the wind at my back and a smile on my face. Well, I'm living my dream more and more each day, and it keeps getting easier to find my way, 'cause I'm rising to my highest place.
I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
How does it make you feel, Kevin?
It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
Oh, yes, it does.
It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything.
You know who else makes me feel like I can sing? Mindy, Sunny, and Kevin. Thank you, thank you, thank you for starting us off feeling that knowing space, right? Like when we say, God makes me want to sing. We know who that is, right? That's here. That's me. I am God. I am that thing that makes me want to sing, to be loud, to be out, to be full of life and inspire, as our last month's theme did, right? So as we do every Sunday, I'd love to start with our vision statement, which is, love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And when you remember who you are that God that makes you want to sing, makes you want to dance, makes you want to live life to the fullest, right? To grow into that knowing of who you are. So with that, I'd like to ask, I know that there is one person for sure, but I'd like to ask if we have any other new people here today. Would you mind standing? Thank you. Now tell us all your name.
My name's
Janae. Janae is here today. Well, actually, Janae, I was speaking to her right before service, and she came here was like 8 years ago.
Yes.
I think it was about 8 years ago she was here, and now she's back, so we want to give her a welcome, right? Welcome her. Thank you so much. And we also come here every Sunday to know one thing and one thing only. And this is something that is very personal. It is personal to you. And we can say things by rote, but I really want you to think about why it is that you are here today. And Janae, I'd love for you to listen to what they're saying, and also to ask you, why are you here today? What are you wanting to get grounded in today? So when we think about the more in 24, I want to know from each and every one of you, why are you here today? Yeah, okay, no one wants to be here for any reason? Or are you still thinking about it? It's like, that's not a trick question. And you too online, why are you here today? Ready? Shout it out. Why are you here this Sunday? What are you here to know? Yes. Say that again, Laura. To be happy. To be happy. Sherry, what are you here today for?
Express my joy.
To express your joy. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Shouting out, Debbie, what are you here today for?
To be tethered to my heart.
To be tethered to your heart. Thank you. Steve Brabant, what are you here today for?
Well, my wife told me I had to.
So basically, God told you to come. Steve came for many reasons, but mainly to inspire us all as well, right? And Diane did as well. So thank you all for coming. And so what we come here yes.
Right where I am, God is.
Right where you are, God is. Right where each and every one of us is, God is. Because we know that God is greatness on demand at all times, no matter what. And in this moment, what we are creating is that greatness on demand, right? We are creating ourselves to be more of who we are, to remember who we are, to be more of who we are, because we are here to be the more in 24. So thank you all. Are you looking for a place to sit? Come. Oh, you gorgeous lady. Well, thank you. I'll let you. You can stand for as long as you want. So that is what we're here to remember. Always remember who we are. To love only, to forgive everything, to remember who we are. And when are we doing that? What is our mission statement? Do it now. Do it right now. Because what? There is no other moment, is there? When are you going to do it? Tomorrow? Well, there's always going to be tomorrow, but today is the moment to do it. So do it now. So right now, I would love to invite the singers to come back up and ground us and settle us into this moment, into this joy that we express, into this happiness that we are in our hearts. So can you bring us into our meditative moment? I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
And staying in the silence, allowing that silence that permeates through each and every one of us, knowing that that silent space, that loving space, that knowing space is the space of God, is the space of abundance, is the space of life itself. And when we are each in this silent place, it is a place that allows us to just know and grow and be. And from this space, allowing more of life to show up, more of an experience that is the divine I am that I am. And sitting in the silence, knowing that this silent space is always within, and taking this silence out into the world with so much peace, joy, happiness, and love.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. Oh, I find God. I find myself. Namaste.
So taking a deep inhale in, expanding in the silence, exhale out, knowing that inhale inspires and the exhale expresses that inspiration. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin, Mindy, Sunny. Thank you. I always love anchoring into a nice meditative song that reminds me of who I am, where I am, and what I'm set out to do. And speaking of setting out to do, I know this person, I've known her for a very long time, and she has always set out to do big things in this world. And I am so grateful that as she is here today as the inspiration, because she is an inspiration, a tall glass of inspiration. Cressa McElhaney, please everybody, please welcome Cressa up to the stage. See what I mean? Tall glass of inspiration.
So happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that we're sharing a stage.
I know. First time, I think.
It is the first time. I mean, I've known you since we were back in NoHo many moons.
Many moons, yes.
And I remember being inspired by you when you'd be on stage, because back then we would give power talks, right? Like,
that's right.
The inspiration would give power talks, like a 5-minute power talk. And I was always inspired by the words that you gave us.
Oh,
so thank you. So this is divine for me.
Yeah.
So this theme for the month is growth. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, and then we have want to move on to something else. So let's talk about growth.
Well, I was thinking about it. It's interesting because growth is something that I think is our natural state. I think it's something that we are just always constantly evolving and constantly growing, whether we like it or not. And if we aren't actively seeking it, something usually comes in out of the blue to force it upon us. So it's really better to seek it.
Well, I think of it sometimes as one of those things, like when you're looking for growth, when you're looking for something, it's like for those of you who I carry a big purse. So sometimes I feel like I'm digging in, looking for growth and looking for it. I have to realize, that's not how it happens. You don't dig into a big bag and find growth or inspiration or something. It has to come from within, doesn't it?
Right, definitely. It is, and I think that's part of meditation. That's part of, exercising our spiritual practice is to allow that to come through.
And what does growth mean to you?
Growth means to me. I hadn't actually thought about it that way. I think that it just means that I'm open. I'm open, and I'm allowing, and I'm seeking. Those are the elements, I think, that go into creating growth.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Caressa and I were talking about this, because for me, when we originally talked about growth, it didn't land 100%, so I had to really experience, what does that mean for me? And growth for me is amplifying, right?
Yeah,
How does amplification show up for you? How does amplifying?
Amplifying to me, let me tell you. Amplification or amplify, I love that word because to me we are amplifying our lives, we are amplifying constantly. And we are amplifying whatever it is we are thinking and talking about is what we are amplifying in our lives.
That's right.
So it's very important to be aware of that. I mean, how many times do you get together with people and everyone starts talking about their illnesses or their aches, everybody does that, right?
And we join in.
I know, exactly.
And we join in.
Exactly. So it's be conscious of what you actually are amplifying, because the more you talk about it, the more you think about it, the more you obsess about things, that is what shows up in your life. That is what amplifies in your life.
In our advanced consciousness class, there was a great example of someone something happened, and they could have been in a very terrible place or they were upset about something, but because they were surrounded by other people who were of an amplified consciousness,
right,
it just shifted the whole situation for this person. So I think that's something that we have to recognize, how we amplify to others, or what it is that others are amplifying to us, and what we're deciding to take on,
exactly.
Right?
And it's not difficult to change it. It just takes being aware. It takes changing your habits.
Yeah.
I think we just get in these habits of speech or of thought processes, habitual things that we do all the time that we don't even really think about. And then if we just become aware of those things, we can amplify something much better.
Right. And
can amplify the good stuff in our lives.
Because I love what you're saying, that no matter what we're amplifying, no matter what we're emitting all of our energy. Right. And sometimes we don't even realize what it is that we're out there emitting without actually stopping for a second to say, wait, as Dr. James often says, is that the thought that I actually want to have experience?
Right.
Is that the energy that I actually want to have experience? Is that the energy that I want others to mirror back to me?
Right.
Sometimes the answer is yes. When I'm having fun, the answer is yes. Yeah. But when I am unhappy or mad or in fear, I don't want that mirrored back to me. And I find that it does happen. Don't you guys? Yeah.
I think a really good word is satisfaction. Amplifying satisfaction with life at all times.
Yeah.
No matter what the situation is.
Right.
Because that is how we start to change our lives.
Right.
By recognizing the perfection of each moment, even if it does not seem like it's perfect, but just changing that thought process, knowing joy, knowing satisfaction, knowing happiness at all times.
Because even when we think it's not perfect, it actually is perfect.
That's right.
Because it makes us stop and say, oh, I get the opportunity here to change that.
And also, how many times have you had a terrible experience and then years later you go, oh,
yeah,
that's why that happened.
I've had that. Anybody else?
Look what came from that,
Yeah, I've had that a lot.
Obviously, you can't recognize it in the moment.
No,
a lot of
no,
times.
I don't want anyone to tell me that it's going to be good in that moment.
But
I'll realize it.
Yeah.
I'll
But you
realize
just
it.
have to know and
Yes.
amplify the goodness. Yeah.
So this month our theme is growth, and this day our theme is amplify. James will find out, and I'll probably hear about it later, but that's okay. We did have a conversation about this. So will you lead us through our affirmation?
Sure. So we're going to do growth first. We'll just say this once. Can y'all see it, right?
Yep.
Okay. You ready? With every breath, I grow more into my deepest self.
Great. And now?
Every breath. And now there's an amplify
Yes,
affirmation.
I believe there is. Maybe there's not. Maybe amplify didn't get amplified, but you know what? We will amplify it. So instead of using the word grow, I asked they use the word amplify.
Oh, okay, yeah, just use the same one.
Yeah.
And you know what? We were talking about this yesterday in our Reiki thing about how when you do affirmations, yeah, I mean, you can repeat them till you're blue in the face, but unless you really understand what you're saying, unless you feel it, unless you are really in your heart saying it as your deepest truth, it's not going to have any effect.
Heart, mind,
so
soul.
let's think about that. Think of something you want to amplify in your life. All right? Nice
Yeah.
deep breath.
With every breath, I amplify more into my deepest self. Shall we do it one more time in standing?
I think so.
Let's
Yeah,
anchor
come on.
into this, please. If you wouldn't mind standing, really anchor into what you are amplifying, what it is that Caressa asked you, what it is that you want to amplify more in your life. With that in mind, then anchoring it with this affirmation. Ready? With every breath, I amplify more into my deepest self. Thank you. Thank you, Caressa. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, amplify, amplify. Okay, so the other half of inspiration today that is going to be amplifying with an amazing song, an original song. Mr. Steve, por favor, si puedes subir aquí. So when we were talking about, no, come on up, come please. When we were talking about what songs when I was asking Steve to show me some of the songs that he had, and this one I think really does amplify the here and beyond. This is the title of the song. But before he sent me a few of the other songs, he said, this is for our amazing Cinco de Mucho extravaganza. And I loved it. Since our theme for the month is more, why not? Cinco de mucho, mucho, mucho.
Yeah, every fifth of every month should be mucho, and there should be a holiday. As far as
How
I'm
about every
concerned.
day should be
It should
mucho?
just be one day and say we just have margaritas and have a good time.
I know. It's this margarita mucho. But we should make it mucho every day.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. So with this, please sing us into our mucho consciousness with Here and Beyond.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Here we are at the brink of a glorious ride. We're now in sync, we don't have to think, just decide. Embrace our journey with clarity and ease. Acceptance brings you more reward when life is yours to please. Here we are at a peak where now we can fly. We have no fear, let's commandeer this passion we placed high. Put ourselves in motion, live our life more full. Step outside the orbit and push against the pull. We're gonna be that light, that roaring sound, the rushing wind and the grinding ground. Urgency, demanding cry, power of now and the freedom that flies. Burst of fire, spark that speaks, taste of desire, heart that must seek, truth that unfolds here and beyond. are in the light I've been dying to feel. We're the evidence of shedding hesitance. Let's uncover and reveal. Absorb the beauty that makes right now so pure. Unbound and undaunted, there's only one choice to ensure. Here we are at a place with no boundaries or signs. About to take stage, finally engage in reshaping all the lines. Determined and steady, we know our time is now. Anxious and ready, profoundly we can vow. We're gonna be that leap that firmly underscores power of love and the hunger more and more. Be a brutal force, raving energy, sincere source, sincere energy. Be that beat that rocks what roll, waves that wail, and soothes the soul, and the truth that unfolds here and beyond. Now we didn't get this far just to get this far. We better act on what we say. So be that light and roaring sound, and the crushing wind, the grinding ground, the urgency, demanding cry, power of now and the freedom that flies. Burst of fire, spark that speaks, taste of desire and heart that must seek, truth that unfolds here and beyond. How about that? Well, I get to take this home with me.
Thank you, Steve, everybody, with an original song, Here and Beyond. How great, I forgot to send you the graphic, though, earlier. How great is that graphic? For Here and Beyond. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much. Here and beyond. And I feel that we are here and beyond at the Global Truth Center because we're always learning to, well, grow, right? We're always learning to grow and to lean. And I really wanted to take what we were talking about this year, leaning into the more in 2024. How are we leaning into the more? And for me, part of that was really coming around with what do I think about every month that we have a word to inspire? So this month, it was growth. And the title of my talk today is Why Amplify? So I wanted to tell you guys why I chose the word amplify today. Because we are in this theme of 2024, I wanted to, and we talk so much about not just our spirituality, not just about what our philosophy is, but we also incorporate a lot of quantum physics, right? We talk about the energy, the energy of pure potential, the energy of life, that is constant, that is growing, that is you, that is me, and that we have the ability, as Steve said, to shape the lines. Because we live in this confine, right? We're born into it. We're born into these bodies. We live in this confine, and we forget sometimes that we can actually define and move those lines for ourselves. And so for me, part of that was to really get, what does growth mean? Well, for me, it means to amplify what I have within me that I would like to show and know more of myself, knowing that what I put out there is mirrored right back to me. So amplify to me was that word that meant growth. So I know we were bantering back and forth, Caressa and I, and what I really wanted to do is invite you guys to think about what growth means to you. It may be that you want to use that word as the word of the month, growth. Perfect. But define it for yourself. What does it mean for this month to grow as you grow into 24? Does it actually mean to amplify? Great. Use that. Does it mean to grow your own strength? Great. Use that. Does it mean to expand your consciousness? Great. Use that. Take this month to understand what your own word for growth is. so that that becomes what you amplify. Last month was a month of inspiration. And I will tell you that I was inspired by an individual that recently passed in my life. He was my best friend. He was a brother. To call him a friend actually is an insult. He was family to me. And yesterday we had his memorial. And it made me start thinking about what life actually means. I've stood up here before and said that I've quoted Thomas Troward by saying, the purpose of life is to enjoy it. Thomas Troward said that. The purpose of life is to enjoy it. And I really embraced that. I really embraced it. And then with the passing of this beautiful soul that affected many lives, I had to stop and say, do you still believe that? And the answer is yes, I still do believe that. But the answer is also, and what else do you believe about life? What is out there for you to define for yourself? Because the passing of my dear Pedro was completely unexpected. He was a healthy individual in his 60s that probably passed in the best way that he could in his sleep. Best way for him, not so much for us, for not having some sort of explanation. And death is always something that we grapple with. Death is something that reshapes and redefines what we think about life, right? I mean, if we've been close to death, if someone we love has been close to death, if someone we love has passed, it redefines and reshapes everything that we know about life. Not just our own life, but the life of all of us in that expansion. And so what Pedro did for me is to allow me to really stop and question what life is about. And it brought me to this quote by Joseph Campbell. Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning, and we bring it to life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer. Isn't that great? So as I continue to ask, what's the purpose of life? It's no coincidence that this quote came to me. It's no coincidence that Joseph Campbell said, stop asking the question that you are the answer to. I want to amplify who I am. I want to define who I am. In his song, Steve writes, here in a place with no boundaries or signs. And the truth is, we butt up against a lot of boundaries for ourselves and they're tacit. We don't even know that we are butting up against these boundaries until we face them. Do I actually believe what I thought I believed? Do I actually embrace what someone else has bequeathed to me and I didn't even realize that? So when you understand that those boundaries, those signs are really not yours, you get a chance to redefine who you are. You get a chance, as Joseph Campbell says, to understand that you are the answer to the question that you have been asking. Unless your question is, why me? Don't ever make that your question, ever. Think about what it is that you're asking. Your question should be, thank God it's me. Thank God it's me, thank me it's me. Because you're defining that for yourself. Steve also says, we must put ourselves in motion to live our life so full, step outside the orbit and push against the pull. We're constantly being pulled in many directions, and sometimes we don't know that we're actually being pulled in those directions until we stop and decide whether we want to go in that direction or not. And I will tell you that this passing has really made me question a lot. And for a while, I wanted to sit in my grief. Yes, I know this teaching. Yes, I am very clear that he is present with me right now and that he is in a place that is expansive, that is amplifying who he is. And I needed that moment to be in my grief, to be in the reality with a small r of what is life, to really fully grasp and appreciate what was going on before I sent out a text or an email to this community, to this Global Truth Center practitioner core and friends who I know that I could lean into. Why? Because each and every one of them had a consciousness that is the more. So when you realize that that more is not just about substance, It's about feeling and knowledge. You can really lean into others to hold you in a space when you know you can't hold yourself to it. I knew in that moment that I needed to reach out to other people, to hold my consciousness, to have the ability to remind me of who I am so I could remember who Pedro is as well. And when I did that, it shifted my consciousness. But again, I needed to sit in that moment. I needed it, and it's okay. It is completely fine. But as Dr. Karen Oxrider said, I will support you, I will be here, but then I'm going to pull you out. And I appreciate that. And it made me realize that sometimes when we speak up here, that sometimes we're using words and jargon and things that just sound like really beautiful things. I don't want to sound beautiful. I want to be beautiful. I want to stand up here and the words that I say actually mean something to me, because if they mean, and they have, I don't want to ever say that they haven't, but I really want to understand this teaching at such a depth that when I speak, others understand it and experience their own depth as well. Does that make sense? Yes. So when I say lean into the more, what is that more for you? Is it a new experience? Is it something new in your life? Or is it just being more? Being more. This quote that made me think, when I was speaking with Dr. Lori, she was sending me some slides about being more. And when I saw this one, it really resonated with me. And what I came up with was this: when we realize that the power we possess is the power back of all things, as Ernest Holmes says, that power that creates, the only power that is, we amplify our ability to attract and experience our deepest desires, the life we are meant to know. When I saw this, it reminded me how sometimes we are amplifying ourselves just in one megaphone and not realizing that the power of everything is back behind us. So that when we claim something, as this young lady is claiming, everything else in the world stands behind us to say yes to whatever it is that we're claiming, to say yes to whatever it is that we're believing, to say yes to whatever it is that we know about ourselves, that we know and remember who we are. And standing in that type of amplification, in that type of knowing, there's nothing that we cannot do and cannot experience in life. Because I will tell you, I have found that life is extremely precious. I've always felt that life is precious. And in this moment, I feel it more. I feel it more than I have in the past. Knowing that the only time there is now. This is it. The power back of everything is behind me right now. And it's behind each and every one of you as well. That power of life, that power of love, that power, that desire that you want is all behind you, just waiting for you to say something, to amplify behind you and say yes to it. And I know that there's a lot of people here that have sent out that call and have experienced the more. And isn't there more to experience? Steve says in his song, and I love this line too, I didn't just get here to get here. Isn't that great? I didn't just get here to get here. Our teaching didn't just get here to not be experienced even deeper, even more, as Ernest Holmes says. I didn't just get here to just stand here. I got here to get here and claim even more. There's never a stop to what it is that we want. There's never an end of expanding, growing, being conscious, being alive, being aware. There's never an end to it. There's no plateau that we get to. There's still more to climb. And that's not a bad thing. That sounds, oh my God, that might be exhausting, but it's not. It's in that climb, right? Like, oh, I don't want to climb anymore. Can this be okay? Yes, this is okay. But the thing of being okay and being in satisfaction, which is great and wonderful, then there's that scratch, right? I'm sure every single one of you have gotten to that point where it's like, this is what I wanted. You know, as the NBA players say when they win a championship, or football players who have wanted to win the Super Bowl and get that Super Bowl ring, they're excited, and then what? Most of them will always say, okay, I just realized there's more. And that's what this is. That's what this teaching is all about, is to remind us that when after we get what it is that we thought was the more, there's probably more. And that is not a bad, exhausting thing. That is the beauty of life. That's basically just telling you that you are the creator. You are constantly creating. What do you want to create in your life? Take that, extract that from every Sunday that you come here. This is a springboard, a stepping board, a remembrance, but it's not the end all be all. You don't turn around and then walk out the door just to come back, just to forget to come back, and then again remember. That sounds like a hamster wheel. We don't want to be in a hamster wheel. Yes, see? Someone else is claiming that as well. We don't want to be in a hamster wheel. We want to be in the constant motion of life. In the constant motion of life. Brandon Bouchard says, when we amplify the best within us, we achieve something miraculous. And it's not just one miracle that we're constantly achieving. We are always achieving miracles. Always. How big do you want your miracle to be? How big do you want this miraculous something to show up as you? And I love this picture when I was talking to Dr. Lori about it, she was like, oh my God, the woman's being blown away. I said, yeah, but you know what? The speaker is actually who we are. The speaker is who we are, not the person. We are that which throws and amplifies out our energy into life, into others, into living. So I'm not challenging you to do anything other than define what growth means to you so that you understand that for this month, what you do is no short of this, amplifying out into the world, creating more of what is, because what you are creating is what you are. It is a mirror that comes right back to you. Isn't that basically what Ernest Holmes says? Yeah. And I'll leave you with this. This is my dear friend Pedro. Last summer, we went to Croatia, and all he ever wanted to do was live and travel, and he did that so well. And I will tell you that he is a life well lived. And I also know that there was more that he wanted and more that he wanted to accomplish. And so I believe that in who I am, I take that challenge for him. I also know that he is now in an experience of his life without this container and experiencing the more in a different way, in a more expansive way, traveling and loving everywhere. This picture that we took in Croatia, we'd gone to a small church. He used to always, every time we went somewhere, it didn't matter where we went, he'd always light a candle in a church. So it reminded me of this quote: a candle never loses any light. A candle never loses any of its light while lighting another candle. So just know that when you are amplifying, you have no idea how many people you affect. Last night, when we were at his memorial, the priest at the service was actually shocked at how many people showed up because it was expansive. And he reached so many lives, people coming in from literally all over the world to celebrate this person who was always just amplifying his own energy and his own life and his own light. And by the way, each and every one of us has the opportunity to do that. And Pedro, for me, is a reminder that I have to do that. I take that back. I don't want to say I have to do anything, but I am responsible to do that. And each and every one of us has our own meaning of what this teaching is. We all do. We carry it with us, right? So now you have a responsibility to amplify and shine your own light, knowing that you affect so many, even if you don't realize you do. I actually liked this quote also by Leo Tolstoy. Just as one candle lights another and can light thousands of other candles, so one heart illuminates another heart and can illuminate thousands more. That's what Pedro did in his life, and I know this to be true for each and every one of you. Know that you illuminate so many hearts and so many lives, and know that you are expansive and amplified energy all the time, and know exactly who you are at all times, because that is the truth. It is a constant truth, and we don't know for how long we get that truth in this form. So please, know the truth of who you are, amplify your energy, and it may always be filled with so much light and so much love. Namaste. Thank you. to my dear Pedro. I love you so much. Always will. So now is the time, the offertory time. So I'm going to invite the singers to come up. And this is the giving time, so that you give from your heart. I'm going to ask that you amplify your giving, so that you amplify your receiving as well. And for those of you that are online, if you're on Facebook, you can go to globaltruthcenter.org and hit the donate button, and you can amplify your donation as well there. Thank you.
So this is a call and response. You know it well. We sing it once and then you echo. Repeat us.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my light, Spirit. Thank you for my light.
Thank you for my light, Spirit. Thank you for my light.
This brilliant, this brilliant, this brilliant light.
This brilliant, this brilliant, this brilliant light.
Thank you for my joy, Spirit. Thank you for my joy.
Thank you for my joy, Spirit. Thank you for my joy.
This fabulous, wonderful, marvelous joy.
This fabulous, wonderful, this marvelous joy.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
'Cause we're so grateful.
We're so grateful.
So grateful.
So grateful.
What I know right here and right now is I am so grateful for everything that is being shared. Not only the words of wisdom, the music, the band, every person who is participating, but the amazing, wonderful bounty that everyone is sharing right now that goes forward to spread the word, that goes forward to grow our center, that goes forward to make everything amplify even more. So with that, I simply release it. I let it go, and I know it is done. We are prosperous, we are bountiful, we are joyful, and I release that too. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This magnificent, magnificent, magnificent day.
This magnificent, magnificent, magnificent day. I want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
'Cause we're so grateful.
So grateful.
So grateful.
So grateful.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Mucho gracias.
Good morning. It's Sunday, May 5th, and here are your GTC announcements. Coming up on the calendar, join us this coming Friday for Soul Immersion, our popular sound bath experience. This event takes place at 7 p.m., and a love donation of $20 will be gratefully accepted at the door. We have a number of Divine Dining and Doing events coming up in the months of May and June. For all of our events, stop by the practitioner table after service today to learn more. Next Saturday, you can attend an elegant dinner party and concert at the home of Carolyn Clemens. There are still a few spots open for this event, so be sure to see Jill or Marilyn right after service today and get your tickets. Our own Reverend Nancy B. has her new book out. You can buy the book now, either in print or on Kindle. Reverend Nancy, who charmed us last week with her humor, song, and love for life, asks that for anyone who is thinking about picking up her book, do so today. You can find the book on Amazon, and we'll put a link right on our calendar page, right at the top. Finally, Dr. James's new class, BODS, begins on June 1st and continues every morning for 30 days. You'll receive positive information daily on how to be your most dynamic self. Sign-ups begin this week, so look for more information soon. You can always find out what's going on and make a donation using the QR code you'll find on the back of our monthly theme cards. Use the camera on your smartphone and you'll go right to the calendar and donation pages on our website. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Ooh. Okay, so let's talk about divine dining.
Divine dining.
Divine dining. It is divine.
Dining. All right. So again, as Thor said in the announcements, there's a lot happening coming up the next couple months, right? A ton. And what a great time for this community to share community, right?
Yeah.
Not just here on Sundays, but as we go out and have fun times partying together and socializing. So this event at Carolyn's house that's coming up this coming Saturday really is not to be missed. She has hosted just in our time together several of these events, and they are awesome. First of all, Carolyn is an amazing gourmand. The food amazing. It's ridiculous. The food she puts together for these catered events, and by catered I mean they are curated catered events. In addition to good food and drink.
You just have to look at her and know that it's going to be fabulous,
exactly,
right?
Tasteful.
You see her,
so this is a great event. James and I will be there. You're going to be there next week. Yeah. So you know. I only encourage you, and, I'm going to forget, and our wonderful friend Craig Lincoln is going to present again and bless us with his musical genius. So this is a brilliant event. We do have spots left for it, but like all events, we need to, have a head count early in the week. So please, 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 and if you're watching online, don't think you're not included. Please, 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 step up. It's a great way to celebrate, a kickoff to the month.
And it's also a great way to be in community. And I will tell you, being in community, being together, having fun, man, there is nothing that beats that.
No, and it's a whole evening. I mean, boy, and there's so much. We have Soul Immersion on Friday, Carolyn's great event on
just
Saturday
had a GTC weekend.
And then back here on Sunday. So
yes.
I really mean it. Please, please, please take a minute, go out there right after service and sign up for this event this coming Saturday night. You will not be disappointed.
At all.
There you go. That's
Thank
it.
you.
All right. Thank you.
I also want to say.
And you were fabulous.
Thank you.
Gosh, you were so
Thank
fabulous.
you.
As were you,
Appreciate
Mr.
that.
Apperson. Thank you. But
This was
wow.
fun. Thank you.
Just
Thank
wow.
you. And I just want to give a little shout out to my dear friend Marilyn Murphy, who's downstairs selling things for Mother's Day. So since Mother's Day is next week, and if you want to send something, if you want to buy something, and if you just want something just for yourself, because you want to treat yourself, because you are a nurturing, wonderful mother and or father, whichever, both. So please, if you would like to see these beautiful gifts, stop by downstairs right outside of the door. Okay, so we have the kids. Or the kid. All right. Let me stand over here. Oh, can I borrow your microphone, please? Oh, never mind. Got one.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we started a month of growth, right?
Yes,
And we're
or
growing.
amplify, whatever.
And so we talked about growth and what that meant for us. And Quade asked me to talk because sometimes it's better when someone else talks for us.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So this lesson started out with a blank sheet of paper because, each of us is a blank sheet of paper. And then we drew an image on that piece of paper, so that's a whole new layer. That's a whole new thing to that piece of paper. Each of us makes choices, and that's a whole new layer of who we are. Then we added a layer of glue, because we want to attract things, right? We want things to stick to us
onto
that
the paper.
we want.
Onto
but we
the
added
paper.
onto the paper. Well, no, we're covered in it too, right? We are. We're covered in glue.
You are the glue.
When you come to Kid Church, you will get dirty. So if you decide to come and join us, wear something you're okay with.
Amazing.
So we put glue on our picture because we want to attract to that. Then we added a layer of texture because what's life without a little texture, right? We want some experiences. We want to have a few cuts and bruises to have stories about. That's kind of a life thing, right? Then We added yet another layer on top of that because, we make a lot of mistakes when we're gathering texture, when we're attracting things to us. And those are neither good nor bad. They're just things that we use to grow further with. So we decided, well, when we do that, we have to build on what we have in front of us. So what we did was we took that last layer and we made sure that the image that we created initially
Can I see this?
could
Oh, that's
be
beautiful.
seen.
Can you guys see that? Isn't that
So
awesome?
the original image of ourselves that we came up with, it's still apparent,
Yeah.
but it has a little bit of texture and it has a lot of color
Yeah.
because we made a lot of cool choices to be who we are and to make what we have in front of us something we're happy with.
And do you love music? Is that what this music note's about? Yeah, that's really cool.
Quaid is an accomplished drummer.
Oh,
an
wow.
artist and musician. So the image he chose was this really awesome music note. It's an 8th note, in case some of you aren't music people. But here's the thing, he's a drummer. There's an awful lot going on around this. Drums have vibration,
Yeah.
right? So he made sure there was all this vibration around his music note.
Maybe one day you'll get a chance to come and play drums for us. Just saying.
that be
Just think about it. Think about it.
That would be amazing, right?
Yes.
So that was our growth lesson for today.
Well, thank you. That's our growth lesson too. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. Our lives are colored with so many textures, aren't they? Sometimes we don't want the textures, but they're there anyway. So let's make the most of it, right? So today we have Consciousness on Demand. And as I mentioned to you guys before, going through this for me was a very tough time. I leaned into this community to give me strength, to be able to be here today, to be able to talk about it, to be able to understand the truth of Pedro's passing, of life, of my life, and what it is that I'm going to create. But I'm going to tell you that comes from being with practitioners like Diane and Steve. And so if you have anything that has come up for you today, I invite you to see these two individuals that have an amazing consciousness. Because as a practitioner core, this is what we say that we're going to do, and we do it. We always say we are consciousness on demand, and we are consciousness on demand. We may not always be in consciousness, but the second that we need to, we drop into consciousness on demand. And these two are fabulous. Diane, where will you be? Okay, so Diane's going to be right up here, and then Steve will be downstairs in Dr. James's office. So if you want to expand, amplify, grow, whatever your word you choose to have this month, please go see one of these two amazing individuals. Thank you. And I just want to say thank you all for coming today, for being here, for bringing your consciousness, for bringing your life, your love, and amplifying mine by just being here. So I invite you all to just take a deep breath right here. Can I have a little music? Thank you. Music makes everything better, doesn't it? It's the vibration that we feel within our hearts. And showing that this vibration that is within, this light, this love, that is constant, that is knowing who you are at all times. Taking a breath into this life that is yours, individualized. It is God individualized as you, experiencing the best that is within. And so I know from this moment, the inspiration, the expression, the love that is to be experienced start from the seed that is planted today. So I claim this, I know this, I allow it as my being. I step out of the way for myself to know the truth of life. And so I allow you all, I ask you all, to take a deep breath into the knowing and to the unknowing and allow it to express so beautifully, so powerfully, so amplified in your own life. So taking a deep inhale, knowing that that is the truth and releasing it out as law with gratitude, and so it is. Okay, and here we go.
Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light shine, let it shine. Come on and let it shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine. Come on and shine, shine, shine. Shine, shine. All around the world. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Come on and let it shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine, yeah. Shine, shine. Shine, shine. One more time. This. Woo. One more time now. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Come on and let it shine, shine. Everybody shine. Shine, shine, yeah. Shine, shine, shine. Shine, shine.
Have a great Sunday.
Thank you guys very much.
Have an
Thank you
amazing week.
online. Thank you. And to our wonderful singers, Sunny, Mindy, Kevin, and the band. Thank you. And Steve, thank you for your original song. Thank you all. Okay, Caressa.